What's up guys, I'm Brent. I'm gonna teach you my favorite way how to cook a chicken thigh. So chicken thighs are usually a little bit cheaper. They're also a little bit fattier, so they tend to cook better and retain a little bit more moisture than a chicken breast. They do require a little bit more work, so I'm gonna show you kind of some of the things that I do in order to prep it to make sure that it cooks properly. So there's usually a little bit more fat on there, so I'm gonna go through and kind of try to remove as much of this fat as I can. It's not the end of the world. I like to leave a little bit on. But you do want to try to remove, the stuff that's just kind of hanging off there. Secondarily, chicken thighs tend to have an uneven distribution of where the meat is. It makes it so that it doesn't cook as evenly. So what I like to do, you can kind of see here, there's kind of like a little lump, is that I use the spine of a heavier knife, and I'll tend to start to break it up a little bit. So it'll make it so that it'll flatten out just enough for you to get an even sear on it. So if you notice, it kind of flattened out quite a bit there. The other thing that you're going to want to do is you want to make sure, if you want to get a crisp and a crust on the actual chicken, to dry it off the paper towel first before you put any of the seasoning on. This is going to help get that crispy reaction that you want when it does hit the hot surface of the pan. Now I'm not going to show you exactly how to cook this, but with any sort of chicken breast or poultry or chicken thigh, you're going to want to cook it to 165 degrees Fahrenheit and then internal temperature. Get a nice meat thermometer. It will pay dividends, and it's just a good tool to have. So what we're going to do is we are going to season this with our Asian pairings. So we're going to be doing ginger, garlic, onion, and a little bit of togarashi. So we'll start off with the onion and just get a nice coat. Now remember, this is gonna be 2x what you're gonna be putting for any of the other seasonings. So you've got that. Then we've got the garlic. Throw that on there. Make sure it gets deep, all the flavors get into the chicken. Don't worry, I'm going to be washing all of these seasonings now that I'm touching them with chicken hands. You don't want to have that bacteria around the kitchen at all. And then lastly, hit it with a little bit of the togarashi seasoning. So as you can see, it's pretty evenly seasoned at this point. Nice and dry. So you'll be able to get a good sear on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook this usually for about 2.5, 3 minutes aside. You really only need to flip it once, add a little bit of avocado oil into a ceramic pan, get a good sear on it, bring it out, and then I'm gonna show you how to chop it. We just seared off the chickens, about 2.5 minutes aside. We did add a little bit of salt right before it hit the pan to make sure that it was properly seasoned, finish it all off. So when you're cutting this chicken now, usually with a chicken breast, I would find the grain and then cut against that. But with a chicken thigh, because we flattened it out, you really actually don't need it. What you really are looking to do is to create even horizontal chops across the chicken. So I also tend to use a rocking motion as well. So you start there and you just move down the chicken nice and equal to maintain that crispiness. And so this would be the type of style chop that you would see placed on top of a bowl. If you were plating this and you wanted to make it pretty, you would slide the knife underneath it, pick it up, and then place it directly onto a bowl of, whether that's vegetables or rice or salad or whatever it might be. But again, you want to make sure that those chops are nice and even. You want to make sure that you're not breaking the crisp too much on the outside and that it looks nice and presentable. But this is absolutely my favorite way to eat chicken breast. Make sure you flatten it out, season it properly, dry it, slice it up, put it in your mouth.